welcome back folks. My name's Shane. You are listening to the next generation of Tube Screamer from the folks at Totally Wicked Audio in combination with Mr. Tamura, the inventor of the Tube Screamer. This is the Totally Wicked Audio source code pedal. Now, it's green, so it has the Overdrive flavor, but it can also give you more than what a traditional Tube Screamer can give you. And I've got about 6 Tube Screamers here at the house, and it sounds vastly different in some ways to the traditional Tube Screamer, but it also sounds very familiar in other ways, and we'll talk more about that throughout the video. But the gist of this is essentially you've got 4 main controls and a brand new bike control. So we get drive, tone, and level, which you'll find on every Tube Screamer, and then this new circuit over here. The bike control controls the amount of even order harmonics present in the output signal. So if you turn it clockwise, you'll get even more even order harmonics. This will also be 6 dB louder than your traditional Tube Screamer as well, with everything being equal, and I'll show you how you can use it as a clean boost with the gain and bike control completely off in just a moment. One of the things I can appreciate being a live player is the fact we get top mounted jacks. So if you want to put this on the pedal board, you get much more room, which is awesome. This also has a 9-volt DC input, but internally it runs at 18 volts for maximum headroom. We get mechanical true bypass switching, which is unlike most Tube Screamers, which give you a buffered bypass. Like some of the previous Tamura mod Tube Screamers I reviewed, this also is armed with the same magic IC, or at least one of them anyway. Now, while this is green and it sounds very reminiscent of a Tube Screamer in some settings, it can sound completely different in others, and it feels great to play. I'll talk more about that at the end of the video. Before we get into it, a massive thanks to Kevin from Totally Wicked Audio for sending this out. I really appreciate it. If you want to take a look at this, I'll link it down in the description box. Here we go. All right, let's kick it off. In today's video, I'm going to start with my Tokai Love Rock LS110, and we're plugged into the Fender Blues Deluxe reissue amp back here. It's mic'd up with a Shure SM57 and an AEA N22 ribbon microphone. So this is the real amp in the room. No IRs, Kempers, or anything like that. Neck pickup. All right, I'm going to show you the clean boost functionality to begin with. So I've got the drive and the bite down, level up, and the tone at 12 o'clock. So that's hitting the front end pretty hard. So if you like to play with minimal gain, it's a great blues setting. You can have it set up so it's just hitting the front end of your amp really hard. The great thing is it hasn't lost any frequencies. So it's very amp-like in that regard. Now we're going to take a look at the drive control. So I'll just bring this down a hair here. I'll put it up to 12 o'clock. Let's have a listen to this. And that feels really great. That's that typical kind of Tube Screamer sound. Over to bridge. Now that also cleans up great. If you like to use your volume control, you can turn down. All right, let's bring in the bike control. I'm going to bring this up to about 12 o'clock, and this is where the sort of the fun of this pedal starts. Have a listen. So right there you can get a great appreciation for how different this is to a Tube Screamer once you start using the bike control, which is bringing in different harmonics into the signal, more gain, more attitude, all that kind of stuff. It's perceivably a lot louder in the room once you sort of crank this up as well, which I really dig. And again, turn down. Volume back up. So it still cleans up beautifully, even with that amount of drive, which is wild. So let's have another listen. Yeah, that sounds great. Let's switch guitars. Over to my Stratocaster. This is my clean tone for reference. All right, everything basically at 12 o'clock except for the volume control. Here we go. That big beefy sound. It's a great sort of rhythm guitar pedal as well if you turn down. Turn back up. All right, let's crank up the drive circuit. We'll leave the bite in the same spot. That is so loud. It's so loud in the room, far out. Now the great news is you can get a bright Strat tone just by turning up the tone control. That's killer. Some people don't like what a traditional tube screamer does, where it sort of changes the low end response, kind of shaves out some of that, and changes the high end response by removing some of that as well. But on this, you can absolutely get a really steely Strat tone. I dig it. All right, let's wrap this up. I'm gonna give you my final thoughts here on the Totally Wicked Audio source code pedal. So if it wasn't blatantly obvious, I love the sound of this. I'm gonna put it on my pedal board and give it a shot. It's going to be before my Royal Flush. So I'm gonna be using the Royal Flush as a boost into this because it feels so good. It really does. I think if you're looking for a pedal that you can just use your volume control on to get it to clean up and get it to go crazy thanks to the bike control and drive control working in combination, this is a really great choice. Top mounted jacks makes it really pedal board friendly. It's nice and light as well. It's much lighter than some of the tube screamers I've recently reviewed, which have, you know, a pretty heavy enclosure, but the build quality feels fine. I have no problems recommending it in terms of that. Now this isn't an inexpensive clone of some other pedal. This is its own unique circuit by the inventor of the tube screamer. So if you're looking for what they consider to be the next evolution of the tube screamer, this is a really great choice. You get a way more tight low end than you would get from a traditional tube screamer, and the overall feel is vastly different. You can also just get so much more gain out of this as well. While a tube screamer does have quite a bit of gain, there's a certain clarity and response with this which does feel different. And I'll be comparing this shortly up against the Ibanez Tube Screamer Overdrive Pro TS808, which is one of my all-time favorites. And while they sound kind of similar in some ways with certain settings, they sound vastly different to each other in others. And stay tuned for that if you're thinking about it. But yeah, it's a great sounding pedal. Massive thanks again to Kevin for sending this out. Let us know what you think. And I'm going to say this right now. I think if you're a blues player, definitely give this one a look. Thanks for watching.